Alright, here we are at day 6 of the outhouse build, and today we're going to try to get the framing done for the roof and try to get some pieces cut, some of the corrugated metal cut to put up on the roof. And we're a little pressed for time today. We can't stay out all day long, so we'll just see how far we get with it. But that's what the plan is, to get the roof on today. Before we started putting the framing up on top of the roof, I did cut an extra 2x4 to put across. Last time we were out doing this, we decided that we didn't have enough to make they were just spaced too far apart with only 3, so I made another one and I'm going to be installing them now. And once again, I'm making use of those clamps to hold these 2x4s in place while I get some screws into them. Those things have come in really handy throughout this process. Here I moved down to the other end. I'm going to fasten it in. What I've been doing, I don't know if this is right or wrong. I just kind of make this stuff up as I go, but I've been putting a screw coming up from the bottom, from that top plate into the rafter, and then a couple of screws toe-nailed down back into it, so it's holding from both directions. And I am no expert, but that's how I did it. So it's the same process for all the rest of the rafters as it is for this one.
Look what we found on our outhouse. He's holding very still. Get that camouflage. Never actually seen a tree frog in Missouri.
And in here I'm just getting the center 2x4s spaced out and clamped in so that I can put some screws in them, trying to get it as equally spaced as I can. And now I'm cutting some 2x4s to put going the opposite way of the rafters up there. There's those 2 notches that I cut in the rafters. We're going to put a 2x4 in each one of those, and then screw one onto the ends of each end of the outhouse. So after I got done cutting these out, I measured out where all the screws were going to go in for the end pieces and marked it all out and got screws started. And then, as you'll see coming up shortly, when I got them up there, my marks were all wrong, so I just went with it.
Piece drilled on or screwed on. You can see we measured wrong. That's okay.
You're going already.
No. So I missed your tape measure snafu. You're welcome. Now the world won't think you don't have any tape measure.
It's not the tape measure. Or it's not me, it's the tape measure.
Is that so?
Yeah.
There is a sweat bee and my straw grows.
That'd be too easy. So here I'm marking out the length for the corrugated metal that we're going to put on the roof, and marking it with a permanent marker. And then I'm going to cut it with my circular saw. It's actually a corded circular saw, so we had to bring our generator today to be able to plug it in. And the saw's got a carbide blade on it, so it'll cut through metal. I figured that would be probably the easiest way to cut it. I think you can cut this stuff with tin snips too, but it gets kind of sketchy because it's pretty easy to cut yourself on it. I got nicked a couple of times just from doing it this way. But this seemed to work okay. I was also considering using a Sawzall with a steel cutting blade on it, but I think that would have just made the metal just bounce all over the place. It probably wouldn't have worked very well. So I'd say if you're going to be doing this, I would use that carbide blade on a circular saw, or you could use an angle grinder with one of those on it too. That would also work. But this worked pretty well for us.
Is it too short?
No, I haven't pushed it up all the way yet.
Oh. You better make sure that they're all the same. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know. So when we picked up our corrugated metal, they had these little pieces that were pre-cut to go underneath them. I don't know if you have to have this. I guess it kind of helps a little bit. I found them to be kind of a pain in the butt, but we ended up using them anyway. I guess if nothing else, it kind of helps seal the ends up. But then again, it didn't really, because you can still see through there. So, but this is me trimming them to size. Okay. All the same now, more or less.
And you're just gonna screw them down when you screw the metal to it?
Or I could tack them.
What, do you have a nail?
No, it might split it. That's the thing, they're so skinny. I gotta get that up there. We take this. That's crooked, or I didn't cut right.
I think it's crooked. This end on this side, I can't tell if it needs to come back more.
It shouldn't be. It's in those grooves.
Talking about the metal. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like totally moving that. So.
You must have cut it crooked then.
Mm-hmm. I probably should have made it a little longer.
Why?
That's not very much of an overhang.
You left it down here.
That's about it. Alright. That's the cameras.
You need to hand you screws?
No, I'm just putting it on this corner and that corner to lock it into place.
Okay.
Because then we got to get the next ones.
Yep. Did it split that?
No.
That's good.
At least I don't think so. I do need another screw over here if you don't get that in the driver. Can you get a 2x4 and push up on that as I slide it up?
This?
Yeah. I caught the corner up there.
climb up.
And here we are coming to the end of the work for the day. We had some other things we had to go do, so we just got that one piece tacked on the corner, and then afterwards we put the other two pieces up there, and then threw a couple of 2x4s, kind of hold them down until we could return for the next day's work. So that's pretty much all we got done today. We got the roof framed out, and we got the corrugated metal pieces cut and set in place. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe and like and all the things. We would really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching.